Because what's the big thing that we complain about, we worry about with elder statesmen, per se, when you hard-headed and you don't want to listen? Because the younger generation ain't having that. Yep. That is the kind of stuff that gets in the way of you ultimately being handed the reins. You see? And Tomlin don't have that problem. Because Tomlin walked into the office, came across as an individual self-aware of the circumstances, and essentially said, I heard everybody. You're booing me weeks ago saying fire Tomlin and all of this. I got you. You don't have to push me out the door. I'll walk out gracefully. That's the kind of thing that'll make you say,
Stephen A.
Let me come back. You go to another team. Harbaugh, not so much.
Stephen A,
based on the storyline.
Let me ask Shreg a question.
Yeah.
Shreg, let me ask you a question, man, because I really haven't been like after about Lamar and I lost my mind on Monday Night Countdown. Was there ever anybody from the organization, John Harbaugh himself, come out and kind of defend Lamar? Was it anybody from the Baltimore Ravens that came out and addressed that report and kind of took Lamar, not took his side, but kind of just squashed some of that stuff? Did I miss any of that?
No, there was a lot of dismissals of that report, which was an article written by Mike Preston in the Baltimore Sun, and it made a lot of waves because there was a lot of breadcrumbs of things coming out about Lamar Jackson that had been whispered for years, but now was suddenly public, and the implication was that was getting it from the team side. Well, Harbaugh many a time said, are you kidding?
Right.
Like, Lamar is my guy, Lamar is my guy. The truth of the matter is, yesterday in that press conference, Steve Bisciotti was very open, very honest, and it seemed like as though this thing had run its course, and they're choosing the quarterback. But with that choice of the quarterback comes great responsibility for the quarterback. Bisciotti was fascinating yesterday. He said, I'm not going to do the first round of interviews, but when we get down to those final 4, final 5 guys, if I'm coming up from Palm Beach or Florida where I am to meet these guys personally, Lamar better be up there too. I'll send my private jet. There is now an onus on Lamar Jackson to not just be the passenger and be the, okay, I'm the quarterback in Harbaugh's ways. No, if we're going to enter your 30s and we're going to pay you this extension and we're going to give you the money, we're going to give you the responsibility of having a say in this decision, but also the responsibility of being a part of the future of this franchise and being a leader on this franchise.
That's fine. But it's important to point out that based on the stories, it comes across as if Harbaugh didn't necessarily want that. And what I like about this stuff in terms of Harbaugh and what he said about him and Lamar, it doesn't mean just because a coach is dismissive of you doesn't mean he dislikes you.
No doubt.
It doesn't mean he hates you. It doesn't mean anything like that. You just have certain leaders that it's like, look, I got this. You play, I coach. Now, that's not the right thing to do, especially in this day and age. But you do have some cats, particularly old school cats like Harbaugh, who's in his 60s and has been coaching being the head coach for the previous 18 years, that will have that mentality, and it's not that wise. Where a guy like Harbaugh gets hurt, when you hear a story like this, you were not, nor would you have ever been that way with Ray Lewis. I mean, this man is hugging you on the sideline. I will never desert you. I will always be there for you. Blah, 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 blah. Why does that matter? Because now it gets a little bit strange. Certainly, you'll compare Ray Lewis to a Lamar Jackson in terms of professionalism and leadership and galvanizing the troops in that locker room after Harbaugh is gone. But you're also going to look at Harbaugh and say, well, why were you so receptive to him? And why didn't you work out a way to be more ingratiating with Lamar Jackson? It's one thing to tell the media that. It's one thing to give off that pomp and circumstance in front of the cameras. But what happens behind the scenes, if I'm the owner of Biscotti, that's where it comes from. And it's just the latest proof. And it's not a bad thing. But when we sit up here, you guys, me, others, and we get criticized because, like an Aaron Rodgers in a press conference and people, tweeting and doing all of this other stuff. He has some legitimacy to what he's saying because Aaron Rodgers is an intelligent brother. He's not a dummy here. And I get where he's coming from. But my retort was, Swagoo played in the NFL. Cam Newton played in the NFL. Ryan Clark played in the NFL. I mean, you are talking about your contemporaries. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like, it ain't like they don't know. And you have these people that will go in front of the cameras and lie their ass off all the time. And when we catch them, see, the problem is we got the receipts and we catch them later. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to have an intestinal fortitude. That's where the journalism comes in with us. That's where me being a beat writer and a columnist and stuff like that, because I'm used to people denying it, swearing up and down something ain't true. You don't know what the hell you're talking about. And then 8 months later, everything that you said was true. But by that time, the story has faded. See, John Harbaugh was counting on that. And now it's coming back, and everybody's looking at him. We respect him. We know how good he is. We know what he's accomplished. But in the end, your job was to figure out a way to lead the leader, which is Lamar Jackson, and you didn't do it good enough.
I also think
that's the bottom line.
They looked at it as this. Lamar is now going to be 30 next season. It's a 2-time MVP, 3-time first-team All-Pro. And we haven't gotten to the Super Bowl yet. I don't know if Lamar Jackson and his style of play is going to be a quarterback that's playing in his late 30s, early 40s. The window is now. And if we can't get over the hump the last few years, give me some sort of indication that you as a leader, John Harbaugh, and your crew of coaches can get us over the hump next year. So when you do that and you really do the analysis, Bisciotti had another great line yesterday. He's like, when you come to the point where you have no regrets and you wake up in the morning and you just know, no second thoughts, then it's time. He had no regrets firing John Harbaugh. He knew that a change is needed, and the window is kind of smaller than you think.
It is. 2 to 3 years max. Shay, I know you're spinning over there. What are your thoughts?
I'm sorry. I keep going.
This is big news. We're going all over the place. First of all, John Harbaugh and Lamar Jackson together both created a lot of success, a lot of wins, All-Pros, Pro Bowls, 2-time MVP. They helped each other a lot. In the end, that relationship just fizzled. It was time, I think, for both of them to go in different ways. Also, I want to note, though, John Harbaugh is meeting today in the Giants facility. You probably know that as well. He is clearly at the top of a lot of people's lists, and I think this news will probably, you will know better than me, start to come out sooner rather than later as to where he wants to go, right, John Harbaugh?
There's the Giants, the Falcons, and the Titans are all very much in the mix. The Giants have been very, very proactive in getting John Harbaugh into that building and having conversations, to which it is what might not have worked with another team could be he could hit it off with Jackson Dart and could be completely great. Or, so you know what?
Makes sense.
To your point, maybe John Harbaugh in his 60s isn't the best thing for a young quarterback, and another franchise might want to go a different way.
Well, I believe in John Harbaugh.
So do I.
I'm in no way implying that he doesn't deserve to be a head coach in the National Football League. That's not what I'm saying at all. What I am saying, however, is that it's entirely possible that two things could be true. You deserve to be a coach at a different franchise, but you also deserve to be fired from Baltimore because of what transpired and the fact that you very, very well may have lost the locker room, because Lamar doesn't come across as the most talkative person in the world. And if he came to talk to you like the reports say, he was sent there by teammates. And if you were dismissive in any way towards him, imagine how dismissive you were to others, because they felt compelled to go to Lamar to speak up on their behalf because, hey, you're the guy that we need to talk to about Coach. And Coach didn't listen. Let me tell you something in football. If a coach ain't listening to Lamar Jackson, you ain't listening. Because even if I don't give a damn if he spoke Arabic and you don't understand a word he's saying, you gonna still go like this. We got to figure it out. That's Lamar Jackson. You got to listen. Okay, you don't listen to Lamar Jackson. You don't listen to Josh Allen. You don't listen to Patrick Mahomes. You don't listen to Joe Burrow. Chances are you're going to be out of a damn job.
That's fair. I'll say this about the Giants. When we talk about John Harbaugh and Mike Tomlin never had a losing season. What did John Harbaugh have, 3? I think he had 3 losing seasons, and even those seasons were, 8 and 9? He was right there. The Giants haven't had 8 wins in 2+ years. I think they would love to have a coach like that, right? It would be a really good fit. My goodness. Coming up on First Take, Drake May had an up-and-down performance against the Chargers in the wild card round. Wait until you hear why Stephen A. has some concerns maybe about their next matchup against the Texans. Plus, Marcus Spears has a definitive statement on Eagles wide receiver A.J. Brown that you gotta hear next. Fired up, aren't you?